The PS5 and Xbox Series consoles are nearly 1 year old in the market, but for consumers and gaming fans at home, the new consoles are practically brand new, and most not even attainable, with manufacturing shortages and scalpers keeping purchases out of reach. Those who just picked up a $300 or $500 brand new console cannot fathom Sony and Microsoft talking about a new console refresh, but, well, here we are. This is Colteastwood. Now, bear with me, I know it sounds a little bit crazy, and I know people aren't going to believe it, but on this channel, I've covered a ton of console hardware leaks, console hardware tests, and some stuff that's come right, and maybe a couple things that haven't come out to be right. But today, I'm talking about a rumor about new consoles, so if you end up enjoying this video or learn something from it, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel, hit the bell to be notified of new content, and let's talk about the new PS5 and the new Xbox Series consoles. The Xbox Series S and X launched in November of 2020, with the PS5 immediately following with a digital and physical model. Those who pre-ordered Moment 1 have been enjoying the new consoles for nearly a year, but most cannot find the model they want. Very recently, Sony quite stealthily released a refreshed PS5 with lighter cooling components to help get more consoles through manufacturing and to the gamer. But the PS5 revision is really the same, with no additional features or performance. News broke among trusted sources that Xbox is already working on a power advantage refresh, Xbox Series S, the economy model, to enjoy the higher spec AMD Zen APU based on the 6nm process technology. The transition to TSMC 6nm, which is refined 7nm process, would result in higher manufacturing yields, and as a result, Microsoft could be enabling full 24 compute units from its Xbox Series S APU using just 20. The current version of the Xbox Series S using 20 compute units, but 4 are disabled to preserve good yields and facilitate a continuous supply of consoles, with more compute units and possibly higher clock speeds. The new Xbox Series S, according to this report, could be even 50% faster. One of the drawbacks of the current Xbox Series S model is the memory pool, which some developers have worried would limit performance targets, meaning some games would run at lower resolutions to maintain 60 and 120 FPS. But for a $300 console, this is pleasing to the gamers in this market. A higher performance console would supposedly cost more. A refined Xbox Series S console would cost close to $350 US, a $50 premium over the current model. But at the same time, Microsoft would be introducing a price cut on the current 2020 model by lowering the price of the Xbox Series S, as we have it now, to $189 to $250 US. This means that Microsoft would be selling both models simultaneously. Next year, AMD will be releasing its Rembrandt APU with RDNA 2 and Zen 3 microarchitecture, a second-generation Zen 3 mobile product. But if this report is true, Xbox would likely keep the Xbox Series refresh in Zen 2 architecture for full compatibility. This comes a year after Phil Spencer told the games media outright that the Xbox Scarlett or Xbox Series S and X consoles would not need a mid-gen refresh. Looking at the specs of the Xbox Series X, with a high-level CPU and strong, capable, future-proof GPU architecture, paired with current game design, the new Xbox does not need a refresh, with the less powerful PS5 matching performance in some games. Furthermore, MLID also claims that there is a refresh of the Series X console coming a year later in 2023, which puts it a year after the Series S refresh, like we saw with the Xbox One S and X in 2016 and 2017. It needs to be said that bringing new improved hardware into the market that is struggling to provide products to their customers now until 2023, this is not welcome news if it is found to be true. Xbox leadership did tell the media a few months ago that they are currently working on a new console and that Xbox is not out of the hardware business whatsoever. Sony is planning to refresh its own PS5 console with a Pro variant that will tackle Microsoft's Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X refresh sometime around late 2023 or as late as 2024. The new console would pack a new AMD SoC featuring higher performance, but being a pro console, Sony is very likely to position it at a premium 4K to 8K gaming segment. Sony's PlayStation 5 Pro rumored for late 2023 or 24, with pricing according to this rumor $700, aiming for that gaming segment. Tom at MLID states that these are just a few titles that he was able to confirm from his sources and that there are a few surprises yet to be revealed, but the main link covers the PlayStation 5 Pro. With no specifications stated, it looks like the console will offer a decent boost in performance, enough to entice those that waited for a proper generational upgrade over their PS4 Pro or even the base PS5. Where this report gets even more unbelievable is that it is reported to be a $600 to $700 price point, which is around 75% higher than the base variant of the PlayStation 5. The original PS4 and PS4 Pro sold at $400. The increase in price is likely due to increasing manufacturing costs and to make up R&D for the new PS5 model. But right now, the PS5 is turning a slight profit, already just 9 months into the market. $600 to $700 is where the report gets into that unbelievable territory, as we know that $600 is not a feasible or desirable console market price. The PS5 current model is a pared down RDNA 2 chipset, which means it cannot fully enjoy full next generation feature sets of VRS and mesh shaders in hardware-based RDNA 2. I have other videos that go in detail about that. Games can look incredible, but certain performance compromises will be made with the PS5, while the current Xbox console enjoys these performance-saving features to achieve sharper visuals before they have to do a mid-gen refresh. It is reported that the Sony PS5 Pro may get a new AMD APU featuring brand new CPU and GPU IPs. Microsoft plans to refresh its Xbox Series S and X on 6nm allegedly, while Sony may be going the 5nm route with new RDNA and Zen-based architecture. If that's the case, then MLID speculates that the thermal and power differential for the console to break past 300 watts, which makes it a very expensive console to design and manufacture. Also in gaming performance, the console might be utilizing AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution technology and market itself as a 4K or 8K premium gaming console. Refreshing the consoles is something most everyone is not ready for, and is not welcome news for fans still trying to get an Xbox or PS5. The window of RDNA to manufacturing of a mid-gen console would be in 2022, with the final design ready to go in 2023. But in an era when Sony and Microsoft are telling millions that chip shortages for base PS5 and Xbox Series S and X won't alleviate until 2023, the time of these alleged new consoles is a bad look, but likely the right move for the industry and power-hungry games being developed. Technology is always evolving, and every 2 years a new generation of hardware comes to PC and console, with no definitive line in the sand when we can expect or wait for these new iterations. One thing is certain: the mid-gen refresh consoles have been very popular and have resolved power issues that fill the gap between the launch consoles and advancing expectations as consoles meet some of the PC advantages. A brand new PS5 Pro or Xbox Series X2 seems like a ridiculous premise, but an inevitable path to the next shiny new piece of gaming gear. I just hope that in the interim, the rest of us can get our hands on a PS5 or Xbox Series console to see and feel how great games are right now. This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. It is crazy. There is such a big problem right now. People can't get consoles. I've tried to convey that in this video. I understand. I read the comments. I know people are frustrated not being able to get a new console right now. It's a major problem. And for Sony and Microsoft to be in the background developing a brand new console when you can't even get a PS5 or an Xbox Series X right now, it's got to make it difficult news to hear. But let's wait and see if we hear more about this. Like I said, Microsoft did talk about planning stages for the next console, and that would be something in 2023, or I think closer to 2025. But if you ended up enjoying this video regardless, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content that comes out every week. Also, I'll try to get more videos out this week as news starts to bubble up for this holiday. And also there's the X&C podcast that I do every Monday. But if you want to further support the channel, you can do that by joining the channel membership or the Patreon. There are several tiers there, something tailored to your liking, and there are monthly giveaways, and that helps us get more content out every week. But I want to know what you think about the PS5 Pro and what you think about a mid-gen refresh when Phil Spencer said he didn't think that Xbox Series S and X would need one. Let me know in the comments section. While you're there, this is a PlayStation and Xbox video, so please try not to fight, try to get along, and just be nice.